One of the things that we noticed with TLD is that we give a lot of forum for people to talk about all of the wonderful initiatives that go on around Colorado, but we actually don't brag about ourselves a lot. So I decided that I'm going to take, and now I'm really going to take 10 minutes because I know we're running short and I'm between you and the raffle. So I'm going to talk about, and I didn't know, but I am a design thinker, so thank you, Stephen. I actually have a visual model. Some of you have taken the TPS program before. It changed over the years. Don't make me have the same problem as Jason. This is what our model looks like. When I talk about a TPS teacher's workshop, that over the years, we have created a framework, that we have multidisciplinary, that we have student questioning, inquiry, and standards. And let me deconstruct what that means. But first, I have to acknowledge over the years, all these people that have been involved in helping us piece by piece put together what we are today with the teaching with primary sources. One of the things that was really the epiphany for me, and Cindy was really instrumental in teaching this, we did in a collaboration with National Geographic and Teaching with Primary Sources to bring history and geography together. And one of the participants said, I can bring geography back into history. She felt it was an aha moment and an epiphany moment. This is our framework: inquiry, reflection, metacognition, primary source analysis, disciplinary thinking, questioning strategies, and learning standards and evidence. So we'll start with the overall of an inquiry framework, and I'm sure Leslie's here. Leslie is Miss Inquiry Girl. Inquiry, dual inquiry, and metacognition. So the inquiry process, as you all well know, starts with getting students to connect to the topic, to begin to wonder, to come up with questions, to investigate a worthwhile question, to construct new knowledge, and to express that knowledge. One of the things that we did through the program was to create what we called a dual inquiry model. So as a teacher, you're not only a teacher fostering inquiry with your students, but you're an inquirer yourself at the same moment. It's like, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. It is dual inquiry. And with dual inquiry, what a teacher's doing, whoops, same problem here. Come back. There we go. Expand their own content knowledge based on what their students need, apply differentiated learning strategies, develop a professional or develop a process for reflection and throughout the inquiry cycle. So it isn't just reflection at the end, but it's reflection throughout, and developing options for students to choose their learning outcome and what that looks like. And we've heard a lot about that today. The next layer is the primary source analysis, which of course is what we are teaching with primary sources, but looking for multiple perspectives, uncovering evidence. So with the primary source analysis, through the Library of Congress tool, you have the observe, you have the reflect, and you have the question. The thing that we did with bringing geography and history together is that when approaching a primary source, a historian might use the 5 C's of historical thinking. What's the content? Context, it should be actually. The complexity, change over time, causation, contingency. Historians ask or think that way. Geographers might use the 5 themes of geography: the location, the place, human environment, and interaction, region, movement. So if you think of students approaching a primary source from two multiple or different disciplines, then when they go into the observe, reflect, the observe, a way to slow down the thinking, reflection, to begin to reflect on that and what questions do they have, and then questioning, coming up with more questions, and what is it that they want to investigate. Then, when you put these together, you have historical thinking, for example, change over time. You have geographic thinking, the human environment interaction. But this geographical thinking could change for any other disciplinary thinking. It could be, how does an artist think? How does a mathematician think? How does a mathematician think? So it is overlapping those. And then another part that we add in our TPS workshop is student questioning. So the heart of the inquiry model is to get students to be asking their own questions rather than responding to your questions. This takes the instruction away from the students responding to what you want or you responding, depending on how well the students respond to your prompts. That puts this in the hands of students and lets students begin to own the learning. So one of the teachers, Elsa, in District 11, she found the same thing, that would applying some of the products that we talked about with student inquiry and with student questioning, that she had more engagement. So some of the student products, for example, students asking their own questions. And then, of course, this student said, the first and third person needs a little shave with their beard. So, okay, not every question is going to change the world, but they are asking questions. The last layer with the standards, which of course, standards are everywhere, and how do we accomplish those standards? So all of this, what we hope is that it is, through the Teaching with Primary Sources workshop, that it is a way of, for example, using a standard, using evidence to support an argument, bringing all of these strategies together. So rather than this instructional strategy, that instructional strategy, that these thread together, that they begin to help you scaffold for your teachers or for your students a way of doing this process. And of course, the end, what we hope is all going to happen is that is multidimensional student understanding with the Teaching with Primary Sources framework. So that is my design thinking. When I said to Taylor and Keith, I said, you know, we got to talk about us, what we do, and what our workshops are, and which, by the way, our workshops are free. And our workshops all contain these components: inquiry, student questioning, standards, and with the help of National Geographic, a way of really thinking about bringing in multiple disciplines to make it worth the teacher's time while in the workshop, and then ways of applying this within the classroom. So that was fast. How's that? All right. Well, and I want to give the applause to all of you for coming for this long day. We so appreciate it. It's because of you coming and because of the enthusiasm that we keep doing this year after year after year. This is our 11th year. I remember, speaking of 1968, that there was a movie called Nashville, and they had a song that said, it was right during the 200th anniversary of the United States, and they said, we must have done something right to last 200 years. Well, in my opinion, TPS has done something right to last 11 years. So thank you all for coming.